It's time to lift the mullet and fine-tune the dog with a professional.
Yes, welcome back to This Sporting Life, and this week's professional on the life, well, let's face it, he's no stranger to a lot of people watching this show. A lot of people have seen him before on television and on the planks. He's the drummer of Midnight Oil, and Midnight Oil are in the middle of a tour around Australia. I think they might have done Sydney on the past weekend. They're off to what's loosely described as the Rust Belt of Australia, South Australia and Melbourne coming up. Look for them at a venue near you. Welcome very much to the life to Rob Hirst. Now, Rob, obviously in the recent past, you've been around the planet a couple of times. You've been to, obviously, a lot of the trouble spots, environmentally speaking, ecologically speaking. How buggered is the planet?
The planet is extremely buggered, HG, right? It is. I mean, you go to Japan, and all the 4 main islands of Japan have been cemented over. You go to New Jersey, and there's all horrible hospital waste and stuff, you know, washing in. It's despicable. You can't go anywhere now except maybe, you know, North Harbour, which we're lucky enough to live in, you know, where Moosey Mossop's got his boat, you know, down there and sits and, you know, reads the sports pages of the telly. That's about the cleanest place in the world.
Is there any hope, Rob?
I think there's hope, but this is the sort of interview you should have Pete Garrett in, isn't it?
No, we asked for you and we wanted you to come. We've seen enough of that bald-headed clown you call a singer. That old bloke described in the Sydney Morning Herald as pastor this morning. No, you're doing very well.
Yeah, thanks, actually, yeah. I think there is hope. I think that, you know, everyone's got to, you know, sort of be aware of not driving their bloody car into work in the morning. I take the ferry in, you know, I find it very relaxing.
The diesel ferry. Is diesel driven, isn't it?
No, this is a
wind-powered ferry.
This is a 17th century barkentine. You know, which they've got a, you know, they've got a galley crew rowing downstairs.
Yes, marvellous.
Yeah, I play the drum at the end of the...
No, I understand. Now, I know, Rob, that the planet is buggered and Midnight Oil, unlike many bands, are doing their best to spread the word to get people to bloody well think about what they're doing. You know, act locally, think globally. I think that's a reasonable position or a corner to paint the band into. Rob, talking about drummers, can we talk about those drummers that influenced you? Are you a Ringo star?
I'm a Ringo man, yeah, which is, you know, was very unpopular for a while, well, you know, because he was always considered to be the joke. The joke. Yeah. The one that was along. But if you actually listen to, you know, songs like, well, all the songs off Hollywood Bowl, when, you know, they're playing all the R&B stuff before they all started taking lots of drugs, and Ringo used to sit in the corner smoking, wondering what had happened to a great band, you know. Well, if you listen to those early songs, he was a great R&B drummer, and then I think he lost his way, or the band went somewhere else.
Yes, because these days he's got to have Jim Keltner sitting beside him, doesn't he? Now, why is this? Is he not confident anymore?
Well, he's a lot more famous than Jim Keltner. Everyone knows Ringo, but no one, you know, except if you're a drummer, you know Jim Keltner. So that's all there is to it, you know. I mean, you know, he had a pretty good life. He was good mates with Keith Moon, another great drummer, and, you know, he used to hang out with Nilsson, and they always used to get plastered together and tell drummers jokes to each other and stuff like that.
Why is it, Rob Hirst, why is it that drummers are mad in bands? Drummers are the mad ones, the loony ones,
they are.
You mentioned Keith Moon, he's loony, Ringo, loony.
Yeah.
Joe Morello in the Dave Brubeck Quartet, absolute dead set.
You remember Joe? Yeah. I don't know what it is. I think you have to be a bit strange to pick up a pair of sticks, as I did when I was 7, and start handing away at the carpet and stuff. But it might be, you know, just this sort of getting out the frustrations on stuff in the house rather than on your neighbours. It might actually be a therapeutic thing.
Yes, Roy's always got this theory about drummers in film clips, you know, that they don't get enough coverage.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that. Actually. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll change that. Now, I talk to the filmmakers now first, and I say, look, this song, you know, this song's got to have...
me hitting the drum once.
Yeah, I always show them sort of the clips of, you know, the Dave Clark 5 and stuff, and Dave Clark was right up the front.
middle.
And there were a whole lot of faceless men up the back.
Playing the rest of the instruments. Now, one thing is the recession, obviously, has affected the arts in a great way. You know, how has it affected the rock and roll industry?
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad everywhere. But we're lucky we've got people that have been following us since the 70s when we played all those pubs, you know, Civic Hotel and the Lifesaver and stuff. And so they've come out again in Australia, which is great. Overseas, I'm not sure, you know, but America's really down the pipe at the moment as well, you know. And the French Prime Minister blew his brains out. Well, the ex-Prime Minister blew his brains out a little while ago because he lied to the people of France about the real state of the French economy. So maybe France and Germany, they're all down the pipe as well. And
you have to travel globally to keep ends together, so to speak, you know, on the financial front?
We used to go overseas and we used to lose so much money that we used to have to do, a 6-week tour around the pubs of Australia to pay for it. Unfortunately, now we're in a situation where at least we break even. And anything over that's, you know, you're ahead, I suppose.
Rob, do you, in songs, and I know you're in part responsible for the writing of Oil's songs, the great anthem songs of the Midnight Oil, tremendous work. Do you organise, say, a drum solo for yourself in each song, like Tommy Rowe did with all his songs, like Dizzy and things?
Like Krupa, yeah, got chucked out of his bands because he kept on...
Yes, yeah. Do you write bits in for you?
Absolutely. Well, Power and Passion is an example.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, we got to that point, 1982, working with Nick Launay in London, and he said, what do you want to do? And, you know, is it going to be a guitar solo? Is it going to be a sax solo? Is it going to be more vocal? Solo. And I said, well, look, you know, how about we play on all this tanks? There was a fire extinguisher in there, there were glasses to throw around, and we did it all in one take, and it was great. And live, you know, I always put in a heavy pitch for Power and Passion, and there's another song called Sell My Soul, where I actually get to play the old water tank, which we found in the desert all those years ago, which is finally, actually, Roy, in tune after all these years.
Oh, well, that's good.
Finally beaten it into submission. It's a perfect B flat.
Is it really?
It
Look,
is.
I love a drummer who tunes his drums, I must say.
Yeah.
And I love to not only drum solo, I love bass solos. And I love drum solos. Do you find that people scream out, Rob, give us a drum solo, more drum...
I've never heard anyone yell out for a bass solo. Sorry, Bonesy. We're over there.
Now, Rob, something I wanted to ask you. I always find with drummers, when you're separating drummers, good drummers from bad drummers, is a good drummer knows how to work the brushes.
The brushes.
Yes.
Are you a brushes man,
I'm a brushes
Rob?
man, but...
Could you show us a little bit of your brushes?
Well, you know, the traditional way of brushes was, you know, you hold this brush in the left hand like that.
I can see
you know that,
yes.
don't you? This
Yeah, I know that.
This is the Krupa, and this is the Joe Jones, and, you know, right back to Chick Webb and those people
Chick
like
Webb,
that. Yeah. And
do you know how to mix soup with them? I mean,
mix soup, this is this Paul Hester, this is this sort of thing.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
but I don't play like the brushes like that. In fact, if anyone watches the MTV Unplugged that we've just done overseas, I actually play the brushes from here.
Is that right?
You got that far? Yeah.
Oh, no, we've got that covered. Yeah, that's covered up a little bit. Yeah,
there. So I find that brushes played from here eliminate the need for mallets, sticks, anything. You know, it's great. You throw your hammers away. So it's all to do with gravity.
Now, you've got that great act too where you bash and you throw the stick away and you grab another one out and you bash. Did you invent that or did you copy that from Ringo?
No, Ringo never did that. That may be why no one knew about him or didn't take him seriously. But no, I'm actually getting a lot of troubles for that because, you know, the sticks are all, you know, rainforest timbers.
Yeah, sure.
So we have this situation where, you know, I have to get the crew to run around and pick them all up again. I play them all the next night in case, you know, we appear to be ecological vandals.
It's fantastic. It's a great act, Rob.
Could you play us off with a bit of a Latin beat?
You know, I could do it from here. I can play a Latin rhythm from here.
Well, have a go.
Okay, I want to stand up for this. Can I stand up?
You can stand up and play us out.
That's right. That's right.
And
the girl from Ipanema played.
Oh,
You're supposed to kick chairs over.
That's right.
That's a drummer for you.
That's a Keith
And
move.
here we go. Now we're getting some action here. And we say thanks very much to Rob Hirst for being part of the life. Get the new record out. Do yourself a favour, as Molly Elgin used to say. And catch the oils around the nation at the moment before they head off overseas to earn a bit more money. We'll be back with more life and obviously more solutions to world problems in a moment.
On September 8, ABC presents Part 6 of Roy and HG's True History of Communism in Australia. This episode confirms the long